So we are in Algebra 2. Today's date is Friday, January 17th, 2020. Now that I am in lecture mode and lesson mode, there should be no more talking. All right, so what is our standard today with a quiet raised hand? We're skipping over participation cards. Ellery. Nice and easy, yes. So using those properties, let's learn those properties so that we can use them. Yes, question.
It still says standard up there, but it says objective.
That is weird. Okay, I'll fix that. Yeah, and there's a random star there. Okay, yeah, there's a few fixes that I need to make, but it's going to be basically this. Everything else flows. I haven't changed anything else. So here are our properties. When I have rules of exponents, I'm going to turn them into properties of logarithms. Because again, they're just inverses of each other. Is there a quiet raised hand that can tell me what b to the power of m times b to the power of n is? Beverly.
B m plus m.
M
plus n.
There it is. M plus n. Everyone write it down. This is going to be b to the power of m plus n. What about the next one? If I have division with the bases, what's going to happen with the powers? What is the rule of exponents? India.
It's going to be b m minus n.
M minus n now. And then our last property that I'm going to be covering today is what happens when I have a power to a power. B to the power of m to the power of n. Anna.
Bm plus n.
Ooh, careful. Bm, not plus, but
Times
n. All right, make sure that you have those properties. Can I have all the laptops shut? There's 3 that are open. I want them all shut, please. All right, so let's go and convert these now into properties of logarithms. So whenever I go to the right, I'm going to be using the word expanding. Expanding. There it is. And whenever I'm going to the left, I'm going to call that condensing. You can go in either direction as long as you know the rule that you're using. So if I have log base b of m times n, I want to think of logarithms as I have now applied a what power. Again, a logarithm is what power does b need to be raised to in order to get to the m times n. So I think of these as powers. If the powers were being multiplied, what am I really doing with the logarithm? With a quiet raised hand. What operation? I'm looking for add, subtract, multiply, divide, take a square root. Some operation. If I'm multiplying the powers, what am I really doing with the logarithms with a quiet raised hand? What am I really doing with the logarithm? Come on, guys. It's the rule of exponent, but backwards. If I have something that is being multiplied, where is it? I'm multiplying. What am I really doing with the powers? What operation? Yes, Ellery. Yes, so this is what I'm going to say down here. I'm going to add these logarithms. Log base b of capital M, and I'm going to add log base b of capital N. All right, so now that I'm dividing, what do you think is going to happen with the logarithms with a quiet raised hand? I'm going to call on someone that still has their card. Or someone that has their imaginary card. Or if that person wants to volunteer. No one. All right, Sam. I'll help you out. Log base b of something, and then some operation that you're going to have to figure out with log base b of something. Check the pattern. Before, I was adding the powers when I multiplied. Now I'm dividing. So what is the operation going to be, and what are the letters, Sam? So m minus. There it is. Thank you, Sam. That is the other rule of logarithms that you need to know. And this one is really, really not intuitive. It's a difficult one, but it is the most useful out of all of them. You will use it over and over and over again. The general way that you can say it is that this n can jump out of the logarithm and come down in front. It's a weird rule whenever I'm playing with exponents. I'm saying, well, that logarithm is an exponent. So I'm going to say this n comes down in front. So this is going to be capital N times the logarithm of whatever's left. So log base b I don't know why I'm writing my logarithms so weirdly. Log base b of capital M. Again, all that means is that you can interchange wherever that n is. I can have that n to the power of inside the logarithm, but since this logarithm is a power, I can multiply by n. Because that's what it means to multiply by power. Power times a power. This is a power, because it was a power up here. A power times a power. A logarithm is a power, to say what power function. Its units are powers, right? This is not a really formal way of looking at it, though. All right, so you have your logarithm rules. Let's practice using them. It's only a front side. We're going to be done with this really, really fast. But before we practice with example 1, I need to talk about what these two different things mean, because both of these will be on your calculator. Even if you pull out your phones, which I hope you don't have in your pockets, you will see that your calculator has these two buttons. What do they mean? Notice that none of them have a base. I've always been writing log base b. Last time that we had a lesson, we were doing like log base 2 of something. These don't have a base. So what do they mean? If I don't write a base and it says log, you assume the base is 10. So write it down. This is really log base 10 of x. So if there's no base, assume it's 10. When you do AP Calculus, and I'm hoping most of you will do this, when you take AP Calculus, ln, I don't say ln, I pronounce this thing as the natural log. I'll put that in quotes because that's how I pronounce it. I say the natural log of x. That is log base e of x. And that's why I did my e lesson yesterday. You guys know what e is. It's the speed limit of interest. And you know how it's derived. You saw the formula. You know that it's the winner of the power game that we played. Log base e is the natural log. All right, so now let's practice writing some logarithms. Log of 3 plus log of 5. Turn that into one logarithm. Who has it? Quiet raise hand. It's equal to log of what number? Do I add the 3 and 5? Do I multiply them? Do I subtract? Do I do what operation? And you come back up here and say, oh, well, I have this right here, Mr. Sindel, and I need to go into this, so this is the operation that I really need to do with those numbers. Quiet raise hand. Who's got this? I basically just gave it to you on a silver platter. I need some new hands. Leo. You got this. So again, I have logarithms that are being added. What do I do to those numbers really, Leo? Say it louder. Okay, so do that. Yep. Done. You got the right answer. 15. Next question. Now I'm going to be subtracting. What one logarithm can I say? Log of what? And if you already know it, you can move on to the next questions. Once you have all example 3 done, you can begin on the homework. You don't need to wait for me. Question, Ellery?
We didn't put a base, so are we assuming that it's 10?
Yep, we always assume it's 10. So I didn't assume, or sorry, I'm assuming, and I'll assume for my answer as well. If you want to be pedantic, you could say yes, log base 10 of 15, but I'm just going to save myself some time and just say log of 15. Same thing for example number 2. I'm going to assume it's base 10. I'm just going to say log of 20 minus log of 4. What is this really the log of? One logarithm. I'm going to call on someone in the back row aside from Leo if no one participates that has not participated yet.
You just subtract them?
Careful, you don't subtract them.
No.
Take a guess though. I'll give it to you, Aurelio.
I don't know, you subtract and multiply.
So right now the logarithms are being subtracted, which means I do this operation. So come back down here. I have 20 and 4. You can give it to at 0 if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay. 5, exactly. I do 20 divided by 4 and I get 5. So whenever you see logarithms that are being subtracted, think divide, because that's really what's happening with their bases. When if the powers are being subtracted, you're really dealing with the bases that are being divided. All right, and then finally, rewrite this as a form of log of c, which means no number up front. No number up front, move it to the power up here, and you're done. Quiet raised hand. Who can write that for me? Cheyenne? Log of 9 to the second power. Done. Second power. You could also rewrite this as log of 81. Either one of those is a perfect answer. And that's all I have for you guys. I want you guys to now give me a fist of 5. How well do you think that you can use these 3 properties of logarithms in problems? I see a 4, a 5, a 4, a 5, a 3,
I'll give you
a 3, 3, 3, 4, 3.5, and 4. Okay, those are some good numbers. So hopefully those numbers will only improve after we work on the homework on Khan Academy. All right, that concludes the notes.